Hey guys, I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is I'm not gonna make any videos for a while. At least until the holidays are over. So on December the 25th all the way to the 31st of the New Year's, I'm not gonna make any videos. This is my last video for today. I just want to give a quick shout out to my two best friends. Goober, thank you so much for hanging out with me and roleplaying with me for the past few days and talking to me. You're right. Hanging out with you was really cool. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. You're a really cool guy. Once I get to know you more, it's like hanging out with you is amazing, man. Thank you so much. Me and Dustin are still friends, but we're working on it. We are working on it. He wants 2 months to himself, but that guy's forgotten that. He's had 4 weeks away from me. Because it was, remember, it took him, he even said in the comments, it took me 4 weeks to upload because I was just not in a good mood. And I thought, okay, that's fine. Now we could be friends again, but still, it's still a work in progress with me and him. We still argue and we fight. Like Goober said, well, we're like a married couple. We fight, we argue, and then we make up, and it's weird, and it's like, huh? In a way, I'm not saying we are, because I know Justin's gonna say I really don't like him that way, or something like that. I know how Justin thinks. He's gonna say something like that. Well, we're not a couple, so you gotta stop saying that we are. And I'm thinking, no, people say we act like a couple. There's a difference, Justin. Come on, you're smarter than that. Oh, and he's gonna say something like, oh, well, you're a Leo and I'm a Pisces, and I'm like, oh, come on, dude, don't do this whole horoscope bullshit again. I can't stand that. And then he'll send me a video saying, oh, this is the reason we can't be friends anymore. I'm like, one, when you showed me the video, Dustin, here's the problem. The 2 lion cubs, they had cubs of their own. They were a family trying to work things out. Do you not understand the difference between me and you? We're not a family trying to work things out. We're friends who are trying to work out our friendship, who have been friends since the beginning of September. Think, Dustin. You know how we first met. You're telling me you don't know me? That's a lot of bullshit right there, because you've known me for the past 4 months now. 4. Do you know how I know how we first met? Because you told me that I should make a gaming channel a while back. You gave me the nickname Blueberry Pimp, and I gave you the nickname Silk Spider. From that day forward, we roleplayed together, but you just weren't making it work. That is why I stopped with you. You weren't making the process work. You would put him down, you would make fun of him, you would destroy any friendship that he was trying to bring to you, and it would just piss me off. To the point where I gave you one last failing test and you still failed that test. Justin, if you could go back in time and do it all over again, you probably think to yourself, I'm gonna take the bag this time. And if you had taken the bag as a sign of friendship and not destroyed it saying I've got so many other bags, then maybe I could have ended early. But I had to keep going because you wanted to stop. You don't understand. You don't get to stop until the story's over. Now I have to finish the story with Goober, so thank you very much. Then I thought to myself, oh, I'll make up a new character just to see how he reacts. Zero reaction to this new character at all. No, when we had another Alistor in the bunch, you would flirt with him for a split second. With Alistor Dark, you haven't attempted to flirt with this one. It's weird, I don't understand. Does your brain just shut off and think to yourself, I don't want to flirt with this one? It's kind of creepy, or... And the thing is, you stuck it to me by saying, well, Alistor Red is the better version of you. Yeah, I know that, genius. I'm trying to get everyone to realize that there's more than just one Alistor out there. Look, there's 7 different versions of Alistor that haven't got their own moment in the sun. Blue, he's barely even in the show, and if they've just started to talk about him. Dark, he's barely in the show, and they've never even mentioned him. Pink, she's in the background of the show, she's in the show, and they barely even mention her. The only ones they talk about is Original, its female counterpart, Blue, they've just started to mention. But none of the other 7 Alistors that are up there in the comic book section, they don't talk about them. I'm trying to get the people to talk about them more. There's more than just one Alistor. There's 7 different versions of them. Well, 8 if you include the female version of himself, but that's stupid. But I don't know why they would think that was such a cool thing. Oh, make Alistor original, have a female version of himself, split himself into 2 people, and love that character. Basically, he's just loving himself. That's kind of asinine, but whatever. The people ship that, that's fine. I don't really care, it's just weird. And then there's one where he makes Alistor pink. It's his sister, dude, come on! And stop shipping Alistor Blue and Alistor Original together. It's so cringe-worthy. It's like, they're brothers, though. That's so stupid. Why would you put brothers together? There was one ship I didn't quite understand, and that was with Angel Dust and Vaggie. And I'm thinking, well, isn't Vaggie a lesbian and isn't Angel Dust gay? How does that work? Like some people got pissed and some people were just like, whatever, it is what it is. No, that doesn't make any sense. A guy made a video about that months ago saying, how can it be if one of them's lesbian and he only likes girls, and one of them's gay and only likes guys? How does that work? And the thing is, that's another one as well, because now Vaggie is with Charlie, she's with Alistor, which that doesn't make any sense either. Again, that's just weird. She's with Angel. I'm like, what? Where does that make sense? The only person that Vaggie is supposed to be with that makes 100% sense is Charlie. There's a reason I don't like Charlie as much as I don't like Alistor, because in that universe, Charlie is a cheat. She doesn't know that, but she is. She's flirting with Alistor, and she's flirting with she even flirts with Husk, and I'm thinking, the only person that you have in your life that you should care for is Vaggie, and it's sad that there's so many comics of them together, but there's barely any comics of Vaggie and Charlie together. The 2 main characters that came up with the idea in the first place, that are not together that often. And I'm thinking, that's sad. That's so sad for Vaggie to be left in the cold like that and be treated so badly by Charlie because she's in love with Alistor and Husk. And I'm thinking, no, that's not fair. And then there's universes where Angel and Alistor are together, and that doesn't make any sense. For clearly, in the first comic of the first pilot episode, Alistor has no affection for Angel Dust because of the way he is. I like Angel Dust myself, but it's kind of weird that people just twist it and then people give him kids. How the hell does that work? They're both males. Both males can't have... That doesn't make any sense for both males to have a child when they're both males and somehow they have a kid. And they did the same thing to Arachnus and Serpentis. They gave him a kid. What? I can understand them having the eggs of kids, because that's fine because they act like that, but that's when you lose me on the one. How is that even possible? Do you remember that one episode of SpongeBob where Patrick and SpongeBob looked after the starfish and people were like, wait a minute, starfish sponge equals crab? Oh, not crab, shellfish? It's confusing, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense. So then the dope creators decided to make it Angel Dust with Husk. See, that makes sense because there's so much in common, and plus Husk has saved Angel so many times, more times than Alistor has. Alistor only saves Angel when 1, he feels like it, and 2, because Charlie tells him to. Otherwise, there really isn't any chemistry between those 2, and there's less and less chemistry between Vaggie and Charlie, and it's like so sad because you put 2 main characters together trying to build a hotel, keep them together, keep Alistor away from Charlie. It pisses me off. I get you guys ship it, I don't. Maggie is being true to her, and she's gonna sneak around Charlie's gonna sneak around Vaggie's back and sleep with Alistor? The guy who's trying to bring her company down? Who's trying to bring the hotel down? Really? That's so sad. Every time I see it, it's like, oh, here we go again. Whoopee. Charlie and Alistor together. Wow. Figures. It has to stop. The madness. I hope when a show comes out that doesn't happen, and that Charlie doesn't go down that route for a guy who's literally trying to bring her hotel down purposely. It's in the fucking first episode, guys. Wake up. Anyway, before I start monologuing why I just can't stand Alistor original, there's a reason. The guy is a fucking ball hog. You never see any of the other Alistors in the show. Oh, and now they've made new characters in this show. I mean, that's cool and everything, but until you get more Alistors in that show, I'm not really interested. I'm not, because he's literally just a ball hog. If it was for Valentino, I don't think I would want to watch it. In fact, I'd rather, and I'm sorry to say this, but I'd rather have Disney do it, take over the show, because at least Disney will be able to make the show interesting. No offense, but I think if Disney took over the show, they can make it work. Because everyone doing all these comic dopes, you keep ruining everything that woman has worked so hard for. I get she says you can ship anyone that you want, but why are there so many different comics with Husk and Angel together, and Alistor and Angel together, and Charlie and Alistor together, but there's barely any with Vaggie? Bothers me. It just really bothers me. That's all you people think. It sickens me. There's literally maybe a few comics where Vaggie and Charlie are together, but there's just so many comics where Angel does is with Alistor. And all of a sudden, the first few months they've been together, they can't stand each other. All of a sudden, no, let's just flip it and say they all of a sudden, for no reason, like each other. Even though there's always, like, distant hate between them. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make any sense. How can you go from liking a guy to like that? How does that work? There's no chemistry build up to the two characters. Yeah, Alistor saved Angel before because he has to, not because he needs to. Husk has done it so many times, and I'm thinking, that's what you should do. That's who Angel should end up with. Husk and Angel should head up together because that would make more sense. And you know what really pisses me off about Charlie? That Alistor picks on Vaggie, and Charlie's so oblivious when it happens. I'm like, why would you let him pick on her, the girl that you like, and say nothing about it? I'm like, what? The real Charlie would have said something about it. Ugh. It's so annoying when it happens as well. Vaggie's just that kind of character that Alistor Blue wants to give a hug, because deep down Alistor Blue cares. That is why I do the character. He cares about other characters other than himself. Original only cares for himself. I've seen the videos. He's so self-centered, it pisses me off. You know what? Vaggie, well, not Vaggie. Valentino may be the villain, but I'm sure if you put them two together, they'd be like the perfect duo right there. It's like if Spider-Man and the Green Goblin became best friends. And the end of Spider-Man 1, well, where the hell did that come from? So all I'm asking is just show the other Alistors and Blue just a little bit of affection. That's it. If you can make all these comic book dubs for original, make them for Blue. You guys are so talented. Stop wasting all your talents on original. We get it. He's the perfect demon, but there's so many demons that the people don't talk about these days. There's hundreds and hundreds of demons you could talk about besides the original cast. You barely even talk about any of the other demons that are in this show. I'm sorry, but I'm just never, ever going to like Alistor the way you guys like him. I like him in parts. I just don't like him in certain areas of the show. I mean, if Valentino's supposed to be the main villain, then what does that make Alistor? And then there's Fox. So basically, if you think about it, you've got three main villains. You've got Alistor, who's trying to bring the company down, or in this case, the hotel. You've got the abusive Valentino, and you got Fox, who is in a relationship with Valentino, and they just can't. There's times that they just can't make it work. So who is the real villain in this show? Hopefully, when the show does air, it'll make more sense. Because right now, it's not making any sense. Who's the original villain here? And then you make another villain, and I'm thinking, oh, not another one. Not another villain. There's so many villains in this show, I can't keep up. So I'm glad me and Dustin and Goob are working things out, but just stop with putting poor Vaggie down. It just upsets me that that character on that show gets the most hate.